The sound of screeching tires shattered the quiet afternoon, and for one terrifying second, Owen Carter thought he was about to witness a tragedy. Standing outside a downtown office building after finishing a long shift, the exhausted single father watched as a luxury car swerved dangerously near a crowded sidewalk. People jumped out of the way. Horns blared. Panic spread through the street. What happened next would change Owen's life forever. Before we begin, if you believe kindness and second chances can change lives, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales for more emotional stories that touch the heart. Owen Carter was 37 years old and carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. Every morning began before sunrise. He prepared breakfast, packed lunches, and helped his 8-year-old daughter Hazel get ready for school before rushing to work. Ever since his wife passed away from an illness 4 years earlier, Owen had been raising Hazel alone. There were no vacations, no weekends off, and no safety net waiting for him when things went wrong. Every paycheck disappeared into rent, school supplies, groceries, and bills. Despite everything, Owen never complained. He worked as a facilities manager for a large marketing company in the city. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough to keep food on the table. Most employees barely noticed him. He fixed problems quietly and stayed out of office politics. At the top of the company was Vivian Cross. Vivian was known for her sharp mind, demanding standards, and intimidating presence. Employees respected her success but feared her temper. She seemed untouchable, always surrounded by executives and assistants. People whispered that she had everything anyone could want. Money, power, influence. But nobody knew what happened behind closed doors. That afternoon, Owen had stayed late to repair an electrical issue when he noticed Vivian stumbling toward her car. Something felt wrong immediately. Her movements were unsteady. Her eyes appeared distant. She looked nothing like the confident executive everyone knew. As she climbed behind the wheel, Owen felt a knot form in his stomach. Moments later, the vehicle lurched forward unpredictably. Without thinking, Owen sprinted across the parking area. His heart pounded as he waved his arms, shouting for attention. Several pedestrians froze in shock as the car drifted dangerously close to the curb. Owen reached the driver's side just as the vehicle rolled to a stop against a low concrete barrier. When he opened the door, he discovered Vivian trembling behind the steering wheel. She looked exhausted. Broken. Defeated. For a moment, she seemed like a completely different person. Instead of calling attention to the scene, Owen quietly helped her out of the car. He arranged transportation home, contacted someone he found in her emergency contacts, and stayed nearby until he knew she was safe. The entire situation could have become a public scandal. News cameras. Social media posts. Career-ending headlines. But Owen chose compassion instead. The next morning, he arrived at work expecting nothing. In fact, he hoped nobody would even mention the incident. After all, people like Vivian Cross rarely remembered employees like him. Around noon, an unexpected email arrived requesting his presence on the executive floor. His stomach dropped. The executive floor was a place ordinary employees almost never visited. As he stepped into the luxurious conference room, he found Vivian waiting alone. Sunlight poured through the massive windows behind her, illuminating the city skyline. For several long seconds, neither of them spoke. Then Owen noticed something unusual. Vivian looked nervous. There were faint shadows beneath her eyes, and for the first time, she seemed human. She explained that the previous day had been one of the worst days of her life. Months of overwhelming pressure, personal loss, and emotional exhaustion had finally caught up with her. She had made a terrible decision, and Owen's intervention had prevented consequences she might never have recovered from. Most importantly, she told him something he never expected to hear. She wasn't going to pretend it never happened. She wasn't going to forget. As the days passed, Owen returned to his normal routine, assuming that conversation was over. But Vivian had other plans. She began paying attention. Not only to Owen, but to the people around her. For years, she had been so focused on company growth that she rarely noticed the struggles of employees working behind the scenes. She learned about Owen's situation. His long hours. His sacrifices. His determination to raise Hazel alone. She discovered that despite his exceptional performance, he had never received the opportunities he deserved. Weeks later, the company announced a new leadership initiative. Many employees expected another executive promotion. Instead, Vivian shocked everyone. Owen was offered a senior operations position with significantly higher pay, flexible hours, and benefits designed to support families. The promotion wasn't charity. It was recognition. Recognition that should have happened years earlier. For the first time since losing his wife, Owen felt something he had almost forgotten. Hope. The changes didn't stop there. Vivian introduced programs supporting working parents, employee wellness, and mental health resources. The company culture slowly transformed. People felt seen, valued, respected. And while profits continued growing, something even more important grew alongside them. Humanity. Months later, Owen stood beneath the bright afternoon sky at Hazel's school as she proudly performed in a special ceremony. For once, he wasn't checking his watch or worrying about missing work. He was simply present. Watching his daughter smile. Watching her laugh. Watching her enjoy childhood without seeing the burdens he carried every day. As the event ended, Hazel wrapped her arms around him and whispered that she was proud of him. Those simple words nearly brought tears to his eyes. Because she had no idea how many nights he had stayed awake wondering if he was doing enough. How many fears he carried alone. How many times he questioned whether things would ever get better. At that moment, he realized kindness creates ripples far beyond what anyone can see. One small decision. One act of compassion. One moment when someone chooses to help instead of judge. Sometimes that is all it takes to change a life. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to people around the world. Special request: comment below with the word kindness if you believe one act of compassion can change someone's future. As Owen watched Hazel run across the schoolyard beneath the warm afternoon sun, he understood something powerful. The greatest rewards in life rarely come from wealth or status. They come from the moments when we choose kindness, even when nobody is watching. And sometimes, when kindness is given freely, it finds its way back in ways we never imagined.